show regarding the journey of artificial intelligence, its applications in the current world, and the future scope of this industry. Hello, I'm Roshni Mangnani, the Executive Assistant at Infinium Global Research and the host for this talk show. As you now know, today's topic is artificial intelligence. This is a very fascinating concept, and as you watch the entire video, some of you will be surprised to know that even if you feel you're not that much tech savvy, you have been an AI consumer in various ways. Let me introduce our guest speakers to speak more about this topic. Firstly, we have Mr. Gaurang Patel, a software engineer with BE degree in information technology from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Having worked for over 10 years with some of the most renowned companies in the IT industry, he is a curious explorer of new technologies such as cloud computing and machine learning. He is an amazing professional having an in-depth understanding of his domain. His proficiency and expertise in software testing and development helps companies to complete their assignments and projects to satisfy their clientele. Then we have Ms. Anjana Susarla, a PhD in Information Systems from the University of Texas at Austin and a researcher into the economics of information systems, artificial intelligence, and social media analytics. Her work has appeared in several academic journals and peer-reviewed conferences. She has also been a recipient of multiple awards like the William S. Livingston Award, Best Publication Award, the Microsoft Prize, and a few more. She has been interviewed and had her research quoted and published in various media outlets such as the Associated Press, BBC, Business Insider, World Economic Forum, and many more. It's a pleasure to have you both here for today's discussion. Let's commence the session. My first question for the both of you is, what is artificial intelligence, and can you state its types to our viewers?
As ranging on a spectrum, starting from artificial narrow intelligence to artificial general intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence is basically all the current state of the art AI, including even the most complicated capable AI we can think of. Artificial narrow intelligence refers to AI systems that can only perform a specific task autonomously using human like capabilities. Artificial general intelligence, on the other hand, is the ability of an AI agent to learn, perceive, understand, and function completely like a human being. Think of a newborn baby and how babies acquire, understand, and learn how to recognize the world around them. So, in a sense, do we have human capabilities that can mimic artificial and general intelligence to completely be able to independently build multiple connections, form the generalizations across domains? Basically, the idea of artificial general intelligence is there is going to be much lesser time needed to train the artificial intelligence. So AI systems will be just as capable as humans by replicating our multifunctional capabilities. And we are a very long way off from artificial general intelligence.
Artificial intelligence has intrigued human beings since ancient times. There were many attempts by human beings to create a system which can mimic a human brain. With invention, and one such attempt has resulted into invention of a programmable computing system in 1940s. After that, AI was a small bits of AI was used in human being all around the world in our day-to-day life. With the increase in computing power and usage of machine learning, AI has grown significantly in 20th century, and it has been since growing steadily.
Can you tell us about the journey of artificial intelligence from the past to the present?
AI starts really with a lot of work done at the RAND Corporation in the 60s and the 70s. There was a program called the Logic Theorist. It was designed to mimic the problem solving skills of a human. And the work by scientists such as Herbert Simon and Marvin Minsky is really very foundational to artificial intelligence advances of today. In 1970, the scientist Marvin Minsky actually told Life magazine that in 3 to 8 years, we will have a machine with the general intelligence of an average human being that may have overestimated the power of present day AI, and the basic proof of principles are there. We are still a long way to go before the end goals of natural language processing, abstract thinking, and self recognition. I would say a big milestone in AI is that the reigning world chess champion Garry Kasparov was defeated by IBM's Deep Blue in 1997, and Deep Blue is a chess playing computer program. In the last 20 years or so, one of the biggest advances in artificial intelligence have been with the branch of machine learning called deep learning, and AI was a sort of, it was been revolutionized by advances in deep learning methods.
What are the real life applications of artificial intelligence?
So some of these real life applications of AI is all pervasive. All these Google's predictions, when you know even enter a search key, the auto complete, those are all powered by artificial intelligence. Ride sharing apps like Uber and Lyft, they use artificial intelligence. Commercial flights use an AI autopilot. Spam filters use artificial intelligence as well. Email categorization, or all the alerts that you can get on your smartphones, those are also applications of AI. Plagiarism checkers, robotic readers, mobile check deposits, all these are applications of AI.
AI is utilized by our day-to-day life. We all use AI in our day-to-day life. We are surrounded by smart TVs, smartphones, smart fridges, washing machines, smart cars, and self-driven cars as well. Right? AI is almost utilized by all these applications. So now we can talk with our phone, with our TVs, with our systems, and get a response or get them to do a specific task. So this all was possible just because of AI. When the smart applications or these TVs can understand our behaviors and automatically make adjustments to its temperature or its different performance activities, so that it can make our life easier. AI is also utilized by different industries and heavily utilized by manufacturing industries to optimize their manufacturing process. So manufacturing industries involves many parts. It has quality assurance, it has manufacturing lines, it has fault tolerance, and it involves many machineries. So there is a heavy chance of making or having of being a mishap into the man on the floor. So to avoid such part, industries are heavily utilizing AI to avoid any casualties or any mishaps that is happening into industries by switching over to the robotics and AI to perform the tasks which are hazardous to the human life. Along with that, AI is also used in the quality control, where the system automatically goes through each and every product that has been produced and highlight those products which are bad in the quality or which has some issues with that. After that, it has also been used by many space agencies like NASA, ESA, ISRO, and many different many different industries as such. So these industries, the space industries or space organizations use AI to analyze the data that they collect from different observatories, satellites, and the studies that they do of the space, and try to find out anomalies and understand those anomalies and do new research or discoveries that they did not knew of.
Elon Musk repeatedly says that he's terrified of artificial intelligence taking over the world, and he thinks that it poses a threat to humanity. Why would he think that if it is benefiting him?
AI is also used by the legendary Elon Musk in his various industries like Tesla, SpaceX. So Tesla, as we all know, it produces self-driven cars, and he is the first person who has brought this concept and has everybody woo or everybody like to move into electric car industries. So SpaceX is also using AI to find out the optimal path for reaching into orbit for its own satellites and docking to the International Space Station. Along with that, it also uses AI to return back its booster rockets and land successfully on Earth. About a new project which is embarked by SpaceX is providing Starlink project, which is providing internet connectivity all over the world with the minimum latency of 10 milliseconds max. So basically, it uses AI to find out the optimal path using the satellites and to transmit the data with the minimum latency from point A to point B all over the world. That's it.
Both terrifying and exciting. On the one hand, we can have improvements like self driving cars, and we could do a lot of jobs that, in principle, can release us humans to pursue more fulfilling activities. But AI can also lead to massive unemployment, and there can be new vulnerabilities such as cyber attacks. Sophisticated cyber hacking can just undermine essentially everything we do on the internet, or national and international security can be weakened. We should really worry about the advances in AI. How will they impact human capabilities and human functioning? For instance, recently a United Nations security report detailed how drones were autonomously seeking out and attacking human targets. So there are newer vulnerabilities created by more intelligent agents and assistants and Internet of Things powered by AI. We should also worry about AI increasing the ability of foreign governments to hack into our political campaigns or for example, think of Russians interfering in US elections or campaigns for Brexit. It could be far worse with sophisticated AI capabilities. And so these are the things that we should really worry about.
How has artificial intelligence helped the following industries: the manufacturing industry, the automotive industry, and the healthcare industry?
Here, how AI has helped different industries. Here we are considering manufacturing industry, automotive industry, and healthcare industry. So let's first talk about manufacturing industry. In manufacturing industry, AI can be used in different ways. You can define using digital twins. You can define how you improve your factory layout and improve your production efficiency and improve your floor efficiency. Along with that, AI is also used for predictive maintenance and quality assurance in manufacturing industries. If your manufacturing industry is using robotics, right? So robotics is a field where you need to have very good precision, and if it is a bit varied in the production line or if there is some mistake going on, the robotics will fail. So AI has come into place where it will monitor the whole process and it will automatically optimize the robotics process, robots function, so that it can handle the situation more better and can adapt to the situations in the future. So the chances of failure with robotic systems is very low. AI is also used in manufacturing industries for different forms, like you can design generative design as well. So using the generative design systems, you can test the actual application or actual object into a simulated product and try different combinations of it using AI and predict the outcome of its failure and find a suitable and viable product, and then go into actual development phase rather than going into developing the application actual product and then testing it. So this has reduced the cost and have improved the cost optimization for manufacturing industries. Considering secondly, we are going for automotive industry. So in case of automotive industry, AI has been useful in optimizing the industries or optimizing the cars, right? So basically, how to optimize the fuel efficiency, increase the maintenance or decrease the maintenance of it, how to improve your car's performance, and how to reduce the total usage of it. So all these factors are utilized by AI. Also, AI, the automotive industry is also using the generative design to develop safer cars, better performing cars, which has less drag coefficient, and hence improve the fuel efficiency, and better engines which will give you better reliable engines which will give you higher mileage and give you higher customer satisfaction. Also, AI is used in customer services as well, where they can analyze the driving pattern of the customer, of the person driving the car, and provide them suggestive information on improving their driving and hence the overall driving and safety of the other people as well as the driver of the automotive car. After that, the third one, in considering the healthcare industry, AI is used for diagnosis. So here the AI is used to diagnose the different life-threatening diseases like cancers based on the diagnostic tools and X-rays, ultrasounds, and everything, right? So AI has also been very helpful in early diagnosis of these rare diseases, and hence lead to better treatment and cure of the diseases. Also, AI is used for the repurposing of drugs, the existing drugs, to work with different new viruses or diseases that it is encountered. Along with that, it is also used for genome sequencing and some rare diseases which do not have cure, to find out solutions or prevention measures to for these rare diseases. It is also used for developing new medicines for existing disease, or find an efficient medicine which has lesser side effects on human being and can handle or treat an existing disease. AI is also used for finding repurposing the existing drugs and finding new molecules for developing new drugs, so that it can cure disease more effectively and have lesser side effects on the humans.
Well, we can think of things like the use of digital twins. Digital twins are a virtual representation of a real world product or asset. Thanks to digital twins, manufacturers can improve their understanding of products and allow businesses to experiment in future actions that can enhance the performance of basically process performances, etc. So digital twins can be used to monitor and analyze production processes in real time on the shop floor. So you can detect quality issues where performance is lower than intended. Essentially, we can do a lot more predictive monitoring in real time using very smart technologies. So we have a better handle on things like replenishment processes and the kinds of planning, capacity planning, material planning, usage, and so forth. Real-time monitoring using AI can also provide a lot of benefits, such as troubleshooting production bottlenecks, tracking scrap rates, and so forth. So you have more contextually relevant data that is used, and we can train our machine learning models with those methods. The supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms, we could use both kinds to interpret essentially production shifts in real-time data and basically discover previously unknown processes and workflow patterns. Healthcare AI, likewise, we can use in clinical prediction to predict when patients come to the emergency room, who is at likely risk of myocardial infarction. In the neonatal intensive care, dealing with very extremely premature children, AI can be used to predict if the infants are at risk of developing life-threatening complications such as sepsis. So these are all examples of how AI has revolutionized healthcare and so forth. And I think automotive industry, again, cars are basically become connected vehicles, and so real-time AI capabilities are very essential there as well.
How is artificial intelligence helping us deal with the COVID-19 pandemic?
So, how has AI helped us deal with COVID pandemic? AI is being successfully used in the identification of disease clusters, monitoring of cases, prediction of future outbreaks, in assessing mortality risks, in diagnosis, in disease management, in also just pattern recognition for studying overall disease trends. In we can do prediction and tracking. AI can be used along with mobile health applications, where smart devices like watches, mobile phones, cameras, and a range of wearable devices can be employed for diagnosis, contact tracing, and efficient monitoring in COVID 19. So we can basically use AI techniques for monitoring patients in clinical settings and prediction of different treatments, predicting which types of patients are at risk for what types of complications, and so on. So we can also use AI to identify various clinical parameters, and we can make resource allocation decisions, such as prioritizing needs for ventilators and respiratory supports in the intensive care units and so forth using AI. AI can also speed up greatly early diagnosis as well as prediction of disease outbreaks.
So it has helped us in different ways. Firstly, we'll consider about manufacturing industry. As we have discussed earlier, The COVID, it has helped the manufacturing, small, medium, and large scale manufacturing industries to scale up, improve their efficiency, and meet the high demands of specific products during this pandemic areas. So this has helped them to meet the needs and to scale up and adjust to the current needs during the pandemic times. It has also helped us to understand how the COVID-19 virus spreads among the community and take preventive actions so as to stop the spread of this virus and protect the public from it. Secondly, it has also helped in research and treatment of novel coronavirus. So, in research, there are so many white papers and medical papers and research clinical trials has been published all around the world during this pandemic period, and the AI helps us to find this relevant information for the new research and understanding the existing research and improve over the existing research that has already been done. It has also helped us to find out the existing drugs that can help us to stop the progress of COVID-19 in human body. One such example is Benevolent AI, a company in UK which has used its AI systems to find out an already approved drug which can be used to stop the spread of coronavirus.
COVID 19 has definitely contributed towards speeding up the digitalization of systems worldwide. How has this pandemic opened new avenues for the artificial intelligence industry?
Has basically opened new avenues for the use of AI in society. COVID has put pressure on companies to be incredibly resilient. There's this famous quote by Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, that says that due to the pandemic, it brought in 2 years worth of digitization in 2 months. Due to the pandemic, organizations have invested in AI to expedite remote working, enhance customer experience, and decrease costs. So from virtual learning to video chats with doctors, we are all currently negotiating, essentially a new normal that's likely to stay. And we have more needs for accuracy, speed, and digital interaction, especially in a lot of mission critical domains. So we've seen the rise of no contact pickup and meal delivery services, no reservation systems, again with no contact, autonomous stores, computerized models to map out inventory management in various supply chain. The payment processes have been also transformed for small businesses with, again, no contact pickup. A lot of paper-based processes have shifted to digitized, and that increases the need for speed and automation and using of predictive technologies to essentially better manage the process. So schools, again, education is another sector where schools have had to do a lot of online presence. So smart learning technologies have great potential there as well. AI is able to provide digital content, for example, study guides that can be used all the way from nursery level to teaching doctors how to learn medicine through remote instruction. So it's completely transformed society.
If not telepathy, but holograms is something made possible because of artificial intelligence. How can the use of holograms or AI powered digital assistants make it easier for doctors to deliver better care?
So AI has helped us in the faster production of holographic images of different products and that we see around. One such example is Microsoft Azure AI, which helps us to utilize or use holographic images in virtual reality systems and the Microsoft products for virtual reality. So, in using virtual reality and mixed reality, there are multiple applications that has opened different possibilities in utilized in different industries. One such example is utilization of virtual reality and mixed reality by the medical professionals or doctors in better understanding the medical risk and different situations or risk assessments while performing a medical surgery. This is where this has heavily added into this product. Reason being is that most of the diagnosis systems or the products or X-ray systems or MRIs we have today is usually in the form of 2D. There are very rarely a 3D application systems, but using holographic, a doctor can assess the different aspects of a human body or the patient's body and perform the surgery in best possible way to avoid minimal harm to the patient. Apart from that, holographic images are used by product designers and fashion industry enthusiasts to understand the product, how they look, how they feel, and how they would perform in different areas. It has also helped many people to overcome their fears or phobias. One such example is people have overcome their fear of vertigo or heights by using artificial holographic images or using virtual reality to face them and slowly overcome this issue.
Those are some great insights by both of you. And now we are headed towards the most debatable question. Will artificial intelligence replace humans in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think we are far from artificial general intelligence, but there are a lot of areas of concern, and I would say that areas of concern would be automation spurred job losses, a lot of privacy violations with AI, especially the issue of deep fakes, where realistic enough fakes of real people can be produced. We have to worry about algorithmic biases caused by bad data and things like drones, the weapons automatization, and so forth. So there can be, increasing automation of certain jobs, especially, can also widen the skill disparities and the premium, the wage premium paid to certain, some people. So what happens to inequality as a result? We have to really worry about all those issues. And I would say that there's also the while AI will not replace humans in the next 5-10 years, we really have to worry a lot about the adverse impact of AI on labor. Technology has always had those impacts, but it could severely worsen. And the other issue we have to worry about is, are we just essentially creating a class of super intelligent AI? So humanity is losing control to the machines, where all important decisions are delegated to AI systems. Some new legislations that have come about in Europe introduces the idea that we need some sort of human in the loop, especially for very, very, very critical decision making. And this is a risk that we should be concerned about very seriously in the year.
Businesses, even if still dependent on humans, will be deeply affected by artificial intelligence. AI driven technologies will lay an easier path to the future by creating a bunch of benefits, offering new opportunities, enhancing production efficiencies, and bringing machine interaction closer to human interaction. Therefore, the future of work is going to be AI and industrial automation. If you wish to prepare for the future the tech way, you can check our latest report published on artificial intelligence market. The link to the report is attached in the description below. Thank you very much Ms. Anjana and Mr. Gaurang for taking out time for this talk show. Your valuable knowledge and insights are truly appreciated. For the ones who wish to get in touch with our guest speakers, please leave a comment below. Also find their social media links attached in our description. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for more of such talk shows only with Infinium Global Research, keeping up with the market trends.